Star Ocean needs your help. With the release of Star Ocean the Second Story R, interest has been renewed in what many consider to be the absolute peak of this JRPG series, now that the game is actually accessible. But what many people don't know is that Star Ocean 2 actually had a direct sequel with the same characters. A very rare thing for this franchise. Blue Sphere is what it was called. The problem is that it was only produced on Game Boy Color and then later given a mobile phone port. Furthermore, the games were never released outside of Japan. This part is where we need your help. But before we get into it, I'm Solace, this is Solace and Dread. We produce analytical content as well as reaction videos, primarily focused around Square Enix, Nintendo, and Capcom publications. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Help. You might be wondering, what can I do? How can I possibly help? Well, there's two ways. The first way, please sign our petition to get Blue Sphere remade and ported to the West. The link for this is both in the description and the pinned comment for this video. It's one thing to beg a publisher for a port. It's another thing entirely to have an organized petition asking a publisher to help preserve precious media. As we covered in a previous video, part of the reason that Star Ocean the Second Story R even got produced is due to the outcry from vocal fans. And we never got to see an official release for the next chapter of the lovable cast of Star Ocean 2. And those of us who did play it had to base our understanding of the plot off of an unreliable fan translation. And honestly, I think that there's something special there, and I'd like to find out for myself, and I know many of you probably feel the same. The development team for Star Ocean the Second Story R literally said that the fans requesting the game was part of the reason they even felt comfortable remaking Star Ocean 2. But they also recently said that if we want Blue Sphere to come back to life, that fans would have to show very similar energy. So please, sign the petition, share the petition, share the video. The other thing that you can do, buy Star Ocean the Second Story R. The game is absolute fire, and it's easily worth the $49.99 price tag. If you're paying $60 for games like Octopath Traveler and Live Alive and Triangle Strategy, then technically this is a better bang for your buck, trust me. Yes, this is a Square Enix release, but the development team was a much smaller studio by the name of Gemdrops, where it's usually Tri-Ace. Support for this release helps to show Square Enix that these guys have what it takes to produce quality product worth buying. And in a perfect world, they would then give them the green light to produce Blue Sphere in the same style that they did Second Story. And it's kinda needed since the old versions of the game are kinda ugly, if I'm being honest. A little bit of background about Blue Sphere. Blue Sphere is set 2 years after the events of Star Ocean the Second Story, where the characters of that previous game have largely moved on with their lives. However, they end up on the planet Edifice, which is a world that's currently in a pre-spaceflight state, but holding the remnants of an advanced civilization. They're brought down onto the planet by an unknown force, but they have to work together to discover its source and leave. While the core cast of the original game is all there, the primary protagonists flip from being Claude and Reyna to Precis and Leon. There's still real-time combat and private actions and item creation, and the music is still composed by the same guy. The game was actually good, considering the development hell that it went through and the medium it was delivered on. We deserve to see an official translation and an official release of this game in the West. It would be nice to get a full understanding of how these awesome characters operate in this second chapter, in a playable format. It's an easy sell for me to get what essentially amounts to more of one of the best JRPGs ever made. So please, help support this effort to bring this game to a new audience. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, we'll see you soon, and long live the Turtle Kingdom.